I'll try. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you to our panel. Ms. Noem got to some of the topics that I wanted to, but I might ask for you to further elaborate. The 50% tariff that Japan levies on U.S. beef, ridiculous. It was bad even before it reached the 50%, and there were plenty of reasons to engage in a bilateral trade agreement that would carry out some of what TPP may have accomplished with Japan, but a bilateral trade agreement that I think there could be strong support for would give us the opportunity to achieve many of the same things with a major economy. I don't have to tell you that, obviously, and that's just beef. And so I'm hoping that we can continue to head in that direction. A lot of things happening right now with trade, but we cannot be distracted from getting this done. Ms. Sullivan, can you speak perhaps more specifically in how beef trade could be enhanced through a bilateral trade agreement with Japan, most specifically?
Well, I'll reflect back on Mr. Rice's statements about TPP. There is no such thing as the perfect trade agreement. Again, this is my opinion. Kelly Sullivan, I'm speaking for me. There is no such thing as a perfect trade agreement, but I will say agriculture would have benefited greatly had TPP been pursued. It is gone, you're right. It's gone. There's no reason to talk about it anymore. So let's go back to the table, and we need to aggressively pursue a bilateral trade agreement with our #1 trading partner, Japan, right now. It is of a tremendous urgency for our industry, not just for the beef industry, but for agriculture in general. And again, I'm just speaking from our point of view. You know, we were seeing a tremendous increase in beef imports to Japan up through July, as I mentioned in my opening statement. And that was prior to the tariff increase that was implemented. It is yet to be seen what impact it is going to have. Inventory levels in Japan were built to a point that we're still seeing absorption of that in the market. I just kind of follow as a morbid fascination a lot of these economic indicators that we're watching, and so we haven't seen any adjustment yet. But again, logic will tell you that if something goes from 38.5% to 50%, there is going to be a detrimental effect. That's why we have to be aggressive to, again, as we said earlier, get on a level playing field. Our #1 competitor is Australia. They pay 27% on Australian beef. That is, you can't compete. Now, granted, I will say that the beef that we produce in the United States is far superior, as I should, because we do. But
more specifically, Nebraska beef, are you saying?
Oh no, actually, Texas beef. But hey, we're all beef producers, right? We all right. I have my pin on with my stars and stripes. We are all U.S. beef producers. I don't care. We're here to do the same thing. We're all in this together. But we have to appreciate the fact that Australia is our greatest competitive threat. We are in their sights. They are going to take every advantage. All of our competitors are, but I'll just use Australia as an example, are going to take full advantage of the fact that we do not have any trade agreements in place, and they're going to try to absorb as much market share as they possibly can as quickly as they can. And they are moving very, very quickly. They're nimble. And so we need to make this a tremendous priority, because the problem is that those agreements are going to get in place, and it's going to be very difficult for us to get back in and recapture any of that market once it's gone away.
Well said. Thank you very much. I yield back, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.